Welcome to Take on Television. I'm Andy Beanstalk with Dave Zurawik of the Baltimore Sun. Dave, coming from the Independent Lens series on PBS is a documentary that you like a lot.
Yeah, it's called Limited Partnership, Andy, and it airs on June 15th on PBS. And one of the reasons it's airing this month is because the Supreme Court in June will decide if same-sex couples have the right to marry under the Constitution. Now, with all the states moving in that direction and everything in the last few years, it seems like, to some folks, it might seem like they know everything they need to know about same-sex marriage. Well, this is the kind of film, and I think it's just wonderful in this sense, the kind of film that at the end of it, you realize how much history about a social issue you didn't know, and really in some ways probably how much you didn't understand about the people who were dealing with this for the last 40 years or so. This film tells the story of a Filipino-American, Richard Adams, and his Australian husband, Tony Sullivan. And because of a county clerk in Colorado who thought same-sex marriage should be allowed, they were able to be married in 1975. They were one of only 8 licenses issued by this county clerk before the Attorney General shut her down. Once they got married, Richard tried to get American legal status for his husband. He wrote to the INS. The INS wrote back to them denying their request with a letter that is infamous. And I'm not going to use the final term here that the INS applied to them because it's so offensive, but it said, "You have failed to establish that a bona fide marital relationship can exist between two blanks." They sued. They fought. For 40 years, they've been fighting in the courts. And it's a marvelous story. I don't want to give away too much, but at the end, near the end of the life of one of the two partners, after all the struggles, the financial hardships you see, he said, "You know what? We won. We won because we managed to stay together and share our love for 40 years despite the mountains of prejudice that we faced." And by the time you get to that, Andy, it is so touching and so moving that you say, thank God for independent films and places that still show them. That's June 15th on PBS, Limited Partnership.
That's Dave Zurawik of the Baltimore Sun. I'm Andy Beanstalk for Take on Television on WYPR.